All right, I'm in the process of about to build another bench. I've made several of these. This one's going to be 30 inches tall, 3 foot wide, and about 9.5 deep. Um, Usually I don't make them that big, but the customer requested it this time. So what I got was a 2x10s at the store. I used several of these. This is the top. I've already got the marks where I'm going to put the legs in at, the pencil marks there. Um, I went ahead and cut the corners of the legs. The legs are already cut at a 10-degree angle. Um, so they're going to sit a little bit slanted. They'll be about like this right here to the floor to the top. So I got the 10-degree cuts right there on each leg. So I also got a pocket hold. So when I get ready to attach them to the tabletop, I'll use my pocket holes. I'll probably put a screw in from the top too, just to make sure it stays sturdy. But anyway, get started on this table. This is going to be early American stain color. And I'm going to go ahead and start assembling it now. I got all my cuts made except for the bottom part that goes across the bottom. I'll do that last once I get these pieces put together here. So, all right, fixing to attach the top now. Got my lines drawn there. And this should be the inside. So basically it'll sit on the lines I've drawn there, 7 inches in from the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run a bead of glue, a little glue bot here. I'm going to run a little bead of glue. Not too much because I want to bleed out. Need to get some more glue. About like that right there. And I'll smooth it around with my little glue brush, which is the end of my finger. Get that taken care of right in there. All right. Get my 1 1/4 pocket screws, 1 1/4 pocket screws. Change my glasses so I can see. All right. So I'm going to run these down right in there. This gets a little bit tricky, trying to hold it steady. So, all right, just get that right in there. Go ahead and pop a screw in a couple times. See if we can get it to hold in place while I'm screwing it in. This gets a little tricky. It seemed to go in pretty good there, and it didn't move. Sometimes this thing will shift. When you're screwing these things in, they'll shift a little bit, but that one stayed pretty steady. As you see, I got 4 areas there, making sure it holds really well. All right. And I might run a screw in through the top. Hadn't decided yet. That's pretty stout right there. That's holding pretty good with a pocket hole screw. So now I'm going to put another one right here. Same way as I did this one. And then I'll be able to run the board from here to here. All right, now I got that all set. Legs are in place. What I'm going to do now is well, I really don't have a lot of room right now. I'm going to move this thing as far in as I can. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure a piece that's going to go across the bottom here. Does it serve as the bottom piece? So, perfect. All right, that's going to work out pretty good. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up from here to here. My shop is getting smaller and smaller. All right, let's see. I'm going to measure up from the bottom to there. See how far up that is. Let's go at, let's say 6.5 inches there. 6.5 inches. Move it in down some here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where I've got that at. Just put a mark on there so I know where this is going to go. Here. All right, I'm going to mark on the inside because I know how to cut this thing. So I get it cut right, the right angle. Take it over to my miter saw and cut these angles here. I'll be right back. This thing cut, we got the angles cut now. Let's see how it's going to slide into here. All right, pretty good, pretty good. Right there, right there. That's going to slide in really, really good right there. Now what I'm going to do, I can either do two different things. I can run pocket hole screws in the bottom, or I can run screws in the side. I think I'm going to run screws in the side. And what I'll do is I'll putty the holes where I'm running the screws in. Well, second thought, let's do pocket holes because that way I ain't got to worry about putty in the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do pocket holes in the bottom. It's going to hold this thing in place. All right, as you can see, I got my pocket holes drilled down through there. I'm going to do now, so I'm going to attach this piece. Pocket holes, I'll slide it right in here in place. Make sure that's where it needs to be. On the mark there, on the mark there. This doesn't get quite as tricky, but this still will try to move on me a little bit. Now if I can find my screws. All right. Just run these things in. See if we can keep them lined up with the line. Oh yeah, that one pulled very good. All right, go ahead and do this side down here. Get that lined up on the line. I'll pop a screw in the top here. Yep, tighten that up. What it did is it pulled the legs together, get a little tight on it there. So I'm gonna eyeball this and hope it's level. Now I have to go back and fix it. All right, get that one in. Let's get the bottom in. All right. Now let's see what we've got. See if I can fit it on this thing here without hitting the top. Oh yeah, it's on there now. All right, got my table, got it all set up. That's the way it's gonna look right there. What I'll do now is I'll go back and putty in these holes here. And I'll sand this with a 60 grit sandpaper, then the 120 grit, which I didn't do this with. Get this thing all sanded down and it'll be ready to start staining, and put the pre-stain on the regular stain and ready to go.